Happy fall. I'm Julie Tam, managing broker of Lynn Realty, and you're watching Smarter Real Estate weekly on Wednesdays. Well, I haven't come to you in several weeks now, but I've had good reason. We have been very busy with the finishing of our home, getting ready to move, packing, organizing, all of that stuff. And as you can see, growing a baby. We put a trash bag over our house number for privacy. But welcome. I'm going to show you today some of the professional organizing that has gone on in this home so that you can learn some great tips. Professional organizing has become so popular now, especially with shows like the Home Edit, their show on Netflix and such, and Marie Kondo's show, the KonMari method, which I actually touched on. Has it been 4 years since I did one of those? So anyway, I want to show you today what the professional organizer we hired did for our home. And then if you have questions or would like to get her information, then I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But yes, we've got our fall decorations up. Our home is more than 90% finished in terms of the unpacking and organizing and decorating and furnishing. So you will see some boxes as we go through the home. But it's mostly done, y'all, and it's really exciting that we've been able to enjoy it now that I am over 6 months along in my pregnancy with our second child, another little boy. So let's go ahead and go on in. So I'm only going to focus on specific areas. We're not going to look at every single area of the home, but specific areas where I can show you some of the organization that was done that would be helpful for you in terms of if you're trying to organize your own home. Now, I will tell you that our organizer went beyond just organizing, okay, and you'll see why along the way. She's really good with a power drill, or a power tool, I should say, or all sorts of power tools, all sorts of tools in general. Okay, all right, so you can see in here the study built-ins that she actually organized. Now, I will say that here and there, since the organization and the design have been done, we've put up a few extra little things just because, we had more things that needed to be unboxed that we didn't have the professionals do while they were here. But anyway, so you can see how she's arranged these shelves. So they're not just packed with books, but they're alternating nicely between books and like CDs and different knickknacks, photo frames, awards. And the key thing is you don't want to have so much where it looks super cluttered, and especially little things. Too many little things make it look even worse. So having some spacing, some breathing room really helps. As you can see, we still have some boxes in here in particular that we need to go through and finish unpacking. Okay, let's go into the study closet. So in here, some general tips would be when you have shelves that are so high and there's areas that you really can't reach very easily unless you get a ladder, which is inconvenient, then you want to put kind of old files and things up high. So that way you're not needing to access them regularly. Things that you want to access more regularly should be down low, and they should be organized by category so that, for example, you have, my husband's camera equipment here, over here we have boxes that go to, with electronic items, some of which we're going to either be recycling, selling, donating, getting rid of in some way. And so some of these will end up clearing out, but at least we can see everything at a glance. All right, let's head out and over to the formal dining area. So we're still having more furniture items and things coming in. So we've got boxes going on over here. But yes, as you can see, she also arranged the nice china, minus the pumpkins, those I put up. But yes, she arranged those in our server and hutch inside the drawers and also up on the shelves of the china cabinet. And same thing in the bar and the butler's pantry. So here she's arranged things, but we've tweaked some again because we've had some extra items that we just wanted to find a home for, but really nicely done here in the butler's pantry glass shelves. And I also did want to show you a couple of special drawers that we really love. This is the tea drawer that she set up, and this is the coffee drawer. So my husband drinks coffee. I don't. So this is his drawer. And then I drink tea. He also drinks it. And of course, when our guests come, they really enjoy opening this up and just seeing, what they want to drink. And then over here, if we'll actually come this way, I think it'll be easier as I open this beverage fridge is to show some of the cold beverages that we have in there. And then let's mosey our way on over to the kitchen. Obviously, the kitchen is a really important place. Typically, the organizers start with organizing your kitchen so that you can get back to a functional state. And so if we come over here to look, we have some drawers that we need to access quite often, right? Like Ziploc bags and aluminum foil, saran wrap. And then these two drawers at the bottom, I asked her to set up for our kids. So that way they can reach them easily because they're down low. And, one drawer has the plates and bowls, and the other one has some containers and cups and silverware. Now, of course, the kitchen being a really important room, you want to make sure that you can find things and that things are where they should be, that are easy to access. And typically, there's kind of like the triangle, as they refer to it, where you've got your refrigerator and your sink and your cooking appliances. And this area is typically where you would put your basic utensils. Now, in some cases, like we already had this wooden caddy, but she bought a number actually of extra containers that are inside drawers, inside cabinets, on shelves, and it really does add up. I mean, we're talking about like a couple $1,000s or give or take of these things throughout the home. So these types of dividers. Oh, hello. And Shay is here. And oh, you're sad. It's okay. Let's talk about it after mommy finishes the video, sweetheart. Okay. Oh, we'll work on the Mario Kart track later, okay? After the video. All right. That's what happens when you have a 4-year-old child in the house as you're trying to shoot a video. These are our baking trays. I love this. And also cutting boards, nicely organized where we can find them and easily grab them without having them stacked on top of each other like they used to be in our old house, where if you wanted to get to one on the bottom, you got to go through all the ones on the top and take them off. So don't want any of that. All right, here's one of my favorite spaces that she organized, the pantry. Again, a really key room because so much goes on here in everyday life. So, I mentioned that I wanted things like snacks, that our kids could reach low, but then candy that we don't want them to reach up high. And then things that we obviously don't need to, reach too often can be way up high. Things that my husband mainly uses can be up higher because he's taller, and things that I need to access need to be lower for obvious reasons because I'm vertically challenged. But yes, look at these clear bins. These are really nice because you can actually have things organized and pull it out. Like if you're baking, these are baking supplies. You can take the entire tray, even has dividers, over to the kitchen and start baking instead of like all these individual items that you've got to grab, right? Also, when you have things like snacks, having them in bins like this means you can see them and then they don't collapse and fall if you were just to put these bags on the shelves directly. Now, what I don't like to spend money on is individual canisters for, say, all the different cereals or all the different snacks. I don't need my potato chips poured out into a canister so I can pay for a canister. I'm just perfectly fine with seeing the bag of potato chips, and that's great. I think this looks great. It may not be like the number one best looking, um, you know, uh, organization that is possible in the world, but it still looks great. And then here we have these kind of little stair step riser things so that we can see the jars more easily. Otherwise, if you have all the jars flat on the shelves, then a jar would be like this. You can't see because the front one is covering the back one. So this way it's tiered and makes it easier to see. Same thing up here with some of the spices and other condiments. And then we can see these clear ones that are nicely placed and spaced out, looking nice because we have the extra space. So the good thing is we actually have more space here than we need at the moment. So there's room to, expand if we're having a party and we need to buy extra supplies, or as the kids get older and there's more stuff that they have, then obviously then that's a great situation to have. Don't eat too much, okay? Because we're about to go to a brunch buffet. Okay, so over here, as we pass through the living room, she has set up the cabinets on either side of the fireplace for us so that we have, for example, this is mainly Shay's things. He's got art and manipulatives like Play-Doh and glitter sand, and then I've got my adult coloring book and colored pencils there. And then over on this side, we have adult family type games, okay? And then kid focused games are upstairs. Got more games back here. And in the mudroom, there's a lot going on. So the mudroom is a really important place too, because this is where you guys are coming in and out as a family. So you want everything organized. We've got basic supplies here. For example, like last minute, oops, forgot to put on the mosquito repellent or the sunblock upstairs in the bathroom. Let's have it here so we can do it right before we go out. And then bike helmets and hats and fanny pack, things that we would take out for like a walk or a ride are there. And then, of course, we have individual hooks for each of us. When we did these hooks, when we designed them, we did not have a second child in mind until we decided later that we wanted one. So we have just three hooks right now. So we'll have to figure out where we can have a fourth hook or some other arrangement. Maybe daddy will get kicked off to somewhere else. Okay. And then this lovely bench that we have here with the cushion that we sit down and put our shoes on and take them off. You can see the little labels. We have daddy, mommy, Shay. And then once we figure out the baby's name, he will be the last cubby here. And these are for frequently worn shoes or house slippers, things like that, making it easy to just kind of like grab and go. Other shoes are up here, and as you can see, they are also organized by the type of shoe, for example, like wedge heels, flip-flops, tennis shoes. And then we have the little ones down low where they can reach, and daddies are up higher since he's taller. And then we have the very top shelf with some other extra supplies, and then the mudroom closet. This is great. This is like a catch-all for old hamster supplies. We have paper bags. We have seasonal decor by holiday, like Christmas, Halloween, fall, Easter, etc. And then just random things like, lawn chairs and these extra sprays that came out of vases that we repurposed in the house, so we don't actually need the sprays actively right now. And then, of course, things that we can use in the backyard, like cornhole and a trash can for parties when we're grilling out back, for example. So yes, really great to have all of this here this way. And let's go ahead and head back through the first floor and start heading to the second floor. I will tell you as we start heading up that, organizing is not just about, putting everything away that we have and getting them into the right place, but also about adding extra storage systems and things. So I'll show you where she actually, installed some extra things into our walls and such. Under the stairs, you can see the vacuum hanging there on the wall. So that's one thing that she did, she being the professional organizer. And then let's head upstairs to look at more. And while we head upstairs, let me tell you, when you are thinking about a professional organizer and who to hire, because we did talk to a few different ones, they came over to give us an estimate. So a couple of them actually came to our old home, looked at everything that we had there, and then came to this home while it was empty before we moved in to see where it would all go. This organizer did that, and another one did it too. A couple of the organizers only came to this home and did not go to our old home to see how much stuff we had. And so I was basically, telling them the square footage and answering some basic questions. But anyway, so we ultimately chose this professional organizer because we felt like her pricing was good, and she also seemed to work well with us personality-wise. I enjoyed her. I thought that we could work well together. I liked her approach. And just kind of the things that she would say, like, money saving. We're not trying to do an extravagant organizing job. It should be within our budget and the way that we would want it, not just the way that she would want it. And so overall, I just thought it was a great fit, and it really turned out to be that way. I enjoyed having her in my home for about 2 weeks, literally all day long, from like morning until the end of the day, like a full-time job. And it does get costly though. Some of these organizers charge by the hour. Some of it is by the project. And of course, they're going to pass on the charge of all the things that they purchase, plus the extra time that it takes for them to, look for these things, whether it be ordering online or buying them in the store. So yes, it all does add up, but I think it was so worth it because for me, I will say, for several weeks, I have been on partial different levels of bed rest for a small pregnancy complication, partial placenta previa, where the placenta is not exactly in the right place. And fortunately, things have started to shift. So we're on the right track to a full correction. But anyway, I couldn't do a whole lot in terms of walking around and unboxing and doing things. So we really had to rely on her more. And then plus our community of wonderful friends and volunteers, from church, a lot of them, and among our family and friends who came over to help with the unboxing and unpacking process until just a couple weeks ago, or a few weeks ago now, that I could actually fully move around and walk around. But I still can't do anything vigorous or lift things that are too heavy or whatnot. So anyway, but the process has been wonderful. Okay. All right, let's step into our owner's suite in the closet. So one thing that she did was to attach these rods. They're just gold rods. Let me just split these up. You can just see, okay? Three of them. And then she hung these scarves all nicely arranged. I will say for the record that I bought only about a quarter of the scarves that you see here. The rest of them are from other people. So the message is, I have plenty of scarves. Please don't give me scarves. I'm actually not a gift receiver kind of person. That's not my love language. So I would rather receive your time, quality time, take me out to a meal or whatever and spend some time with me. Don't buy me gifts because I have plenty and I'm very picky, so I probably won't like it if you buy it for me. Few people have been able to buy me something that I actually, really like. Okay, let's see if I can pull this out. Yay! My husband thought I was going to be too short. Well, I proved him wrong. Here is a rack that she installed for his ties and belts that can go in and out for easy selection and looking at everything. And then the closet you can see is organized. Now, I will say that it depends on your level of organization and what you need. For Socket, my husband's side, he pretty much was happy with the finished product because men are simpler. Well, I mean, anyway, he is not that complicated. So, it's like pants and shirts. They don't have a lot of other different types of things. There's not a lot of other, gradient, how should I say it? Like, different types and subcategories of clothes. It's like sweaters and they're all just sweaters and they're shaped the same. And the shirts, they're either collared, short sleeve, or long sleeved, or no collar, short sleeve, or long sleeve. So it's really basic. Women, we have a lot more different nuances of clothes and the way that we want things organized. Okay, she also did, up here, like the hats and, putting like empty jewelry boxes into bins and purses into bins. So for me, I have a lot of subcategories, right? So after she organized it, I actually had to come in here and further organize for myself. So the way she did it was in rainbow color order and kind of general, like, okay, sleeveless, short sleeve, etc. But I needed it to be, hold on, Shay, sleeveless, for example, that was casual, and then sleeveless where I could wear it as a blouse professionally, for example. And the same thing within the short sleeve and the long sleeve category. I have some collared, some not collared. I have sweaters of different lengths, different types. I have sweatshirts that are hooded versus not hooded. And so there's all these little subcategories that we needed to make sure that that I got organized in a way that makes sense for me. Because at first when I came in here, I was like, wow, I can't find what I want to wear because it's just, it's not the exact way that my brain functions in the way that I need it. So that is a very particular thing per person, perhaps. And some of you may be fine to, not have it as organized in depth, but I really needed it that way. And so as you can see, just everything looking really nice because it's all organized. Okay, our organizer also installed these racks for my belts here. And so, it's about pre-planning, counting up how many little hooks they would take up, and therefore figuring out how many to install. And your organizer should discuss with you, of course, before starting to drill, which she did, where you would want things placed and maybe how many and, things like that. So I'm not going to go through the insides of all the drawers just because I don't want the video to get too long, but suffice it to say that she organized all of those too. For inside drawers, because the bins are not visible, they don't need to look as nice. And so she just, got ones that are clear so we could see into them. In some cases, they're more translucent, not transparent, because you don't really need to see them extremely clearly. Like if these are medicines and you're like, oh, I can see it says Tylenol, then I know the whole bin is Tylenol. And then this is Shay's room. Mommy. Our organizer even helped install his old baby mobile, which is actually a very mature mobile that will take him into, his teen years even. It's cool. It's not super babyish. And so we've got that. And she organized his drawers, books on the shelves. But again, I organized the books further into subcategory because I wanted us to be able to find things even more easily. And then same thing with his closet here. So I was really excited to hang his clothes up because in our old home, it was all folded in drawers. And so this was something different. And then on his shelves, some games and his mementos and artwork and things like that. And so, yes, she literally worked on everything, all the drawers, cabinets, etc. In baby's room, we have this linen closet where you can see things, organized here, and then the baby's closet. Now, some areas, I wasn't ready. Come on out, baby. to have anyone organize because I needed to go through the things. So, for example, I'm in the middle of organizing Shay's old clothes that will be hand-me-downs for baby, and then putting them in drawers and, hanging some up in the closet. Some I will bag up because they're bigger sizes, so we need to wait for baby to get there. All right, and now we're in the room where Shay was supposed to be to show us. So yes, this is his playroom, which is an active playroom. We actually call this the play and stay room because it's supposed to double as a guest bedroom, as that black futon does fold out into a bed. But the one thing I wanted to show you in here, and we'll actually wrap up in the laundry room since I came this way, but is this black shelving unit. Okay, so this is from IKEA. IKEA has some good organizing things. And of course, the Container Store does too. Theirs are a little pricier. You can find a lot of stuff at Walmart, Lowe's, etc. But yes, these individual bins with these pull-out drawers. Now, this was quite a task. She was looking online, sending us links of preferences. The only bad thing is these kind of slide back and forth a little bit. But what they do is they fill up most of the space in the opening, which maximizes the space. But then there's a little bit of space on top, so you could put an extra item or two up there. I wanted to make sure we maximize the space because otherwise there's just wasted empty space. And in here, we actually have one that has two in one, so you can divide up and then utilize the fact that if you have two different types of toys that you want to divide up, then that's possible there. So this is a great unit. She even installed anti-tip devices, like the one behind this one, and some other ones. We've had some other friends come over and help with things like that too. And this organization I actually had done already in our old home, so we just kept this over here, tweaked it a little bit with the extra space that we had. And these clear drawers, which I really love. Those are from the Home Edit, their brand. And with kids, you want them to be able to see the items because if they're out of sight, they're kind of out of mind. And so if they can see them, then they know exactly what they're about to grab and play with. And so that really works out nicely. All right, let's pass through here and finish up in the laundry room. I think this was the last area that I wanted to show. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. In here, we've got this rack that she installed on the wall to put brooms and mops. And then if you look behind the door, there's an ironing board hanging up there that she installed the, kind of, I don't know if you call it like hook rack or whatever, this thing on the wall where you can hang the ironing board from. And then here she installed this paper towel holder. Otherwise, it would just be sitting on the counter, or you can have a freestanding holder. But she suggested this, and we agreed and thought it looked good. And she found the gold that would match our gold fixtures and hardware in here, and so that worked out really nicely. And the garage, which I wasn't gonna show you because that would involve me going down the stairs in there and too much time. But I will mention as we walk back out here that she installed, tool racks on the walls to hang up, again, like yard tools and things like that. And, helped us reorganize our garage as well. Now, the garage is interesting because we've got cinder blocks for the first about 8 feet of height before it gets to sheetrock. So you have to use the right type of tools and things to hang things on cinder blocks, which is like kind of like a concrete, that's different from hanging from sheetrock. And so lots of different things to think through. And if you have more questions, please feel free to ask. Go ahead and message me or comment. Shay, we don't lift up mommy's sweater during the video. Could you please sit down in that chair until I'm done? And I hope you will continue to tune in, like, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode of Smarter Real Estate on YouTube and Facebook. And my kid is pouting on the floor, so I'm just laughing. That's life. Oh, and you can look at our bookcase organized too while I wrap up the video. I'll be showing you more videos in the weeks to come talking about specific things in our home, including art installation and placement, window treatments, rug placement, our furniture and decor, and of course, as we actually finish unpacking the whole home and it's ready for a whole home tour and showcase, then we will do that video. And so just bear with me because with the pregnancy and everything going on, it's just taking me a little bit longer to generate videos. All right, thank you so much and have a happy holiday season as Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year are right here in our midst. I'll see you next week.